What has happened, everyone? Hopefully we're doing all right. Bit of a recap last week. I ended up having a losing week, so just down over 2%. Was a very bad performing week for myself personally. I had the recap call with the premium last night. Whenever it actually ended up being a really good week of price action. Just some things with patience and just entry requirements that I skipped over. Some bad decision making. But other than that, we can kind of get into this week. So new week, and kind of focus on what we've got here. So Euro USD coming into this week. As you can see, we've retraced up into our decisional. So our bigger 4-hour break is this bigger move here. That's my current 4-hour range. I'm happy to use that bigger range. Yes, it is quite large, but on the daily, it kind of just gets bigger and bigger. That's more or less kind of the daily range as well. They're more or less the same thing. And the daily range hasn't got enough for us to, I would say, keep this as the legitimate range. So for my daily range, yes, this is the daily range, but there's no structure in there for us to use personally. So what I would just be worrying about and kind of wanting on the daily is just to focus on the movement more as such. So if we look at the daily, what I'd be wanting is just a repetition of this move here. Okay. Now down on that 4-hour, as you can see, like I said, we've come into this decisional here that broke through that there. I have kind of two options for this week. And they're the only two options I have. One of the options leads to a lower low, and then that just creates new range and will just be bearish. The other two could involve a retracement or just an inducement and melt. So the two options I have are the take of this high. So that's the first option is we come up, we induce something, whether it's this low here like that, or we induce this low here, which I think is actually more favorable, something like that, and then push down to that low. The other option is just to take the low and just continue lower. So those two options are where the indecision point kind of lies. So I'll be looking to sell coming into today and tomorrow, which the pre-market will be at a little bit later, but they're kind of the two options. If we do come and break this high, we do have the option to retrace up to that 4-hour extreme and kind of use that area up there to sell through. So a couple of options coming into this week. They're the two options there. Whatever happens from there, I'll basically adjust my outlook on. But they're the two options for Euro coming into this week. Now, GBP coming into this week, this is what I've drawn out so far. As you can see, I've already done the analysis. 4-hour break towards the end of last week, the week before. And now we've started that retracement. We have taken the decisional, which is really, really clean. We've disregarded the take of it entirely, and now we've pushed up. So what has happened on GU for me is what will happen on EU this week. Okay, so given that, we've got one basic area of liquidity to kind of target, but I more or less think we're actually bullish on GBPUSD coming into this week. I don't think this area holds any weight, so for me personally, I want to buy through it, but we need that retracement first. So with that retracement, they correlate together nicely on EURUSD. Euro, I wanted to come take the low. GU, I want to come take this low, which is just a simple break and test kind of liquidity that sits above this high, and then we can kind of go from there. So really, really simple on GBPUSD coming into this week. And then I'll have the pre-market out kind of as we get close to the session. We're about 2 hours away now. So let's have a good week. If you're interested, premium group below, go live every day. And then we've also got the free Discord going live on Wednesday. So if you're interested in that, all the links below. Let's have ourselves a good week. And I will see you guys tomorrow.